Welcome to my channel. This is RuPaul's Drag Race UK Season 6, Judged My Way. Enjoy watching. I assigned a color to each placement to make it easier to display in the pictures. Additionally, I'm using a point system to track how each queen performed throughout the competition. Feel free to pause the video to take a closer look. The first episode was a talent show. Like the original, I decided to make it a top 2 episode, with 6 queens in the top and 6 queens safe. I agree with all the original placements and wouldn't change a thing. I also believe Kyron won the lip sync against La Voix, so I'm awarding her the win. I'm keeping Octavia, Kiki, Lil, and Relisa as high. I also decided to exclude Saki from the future episodes since originally her injury didn't allow her to compete. For the design challenge, I decided to make it an elimination episode. Yes, Saki left due to her injury, but since the first episode was non-elimination, this feels fair. I liked Lil's look the most, so I'm giving her the win. In the top, I'm placing Marmalade and Charity. This might be controversial, but I don't think Chanel's look was as strong as others believe. While it was well sewn and constructed, I found it a bit messy overall. I placed Zahira as low, with Kiki and Octavia in the bottom. As for the lip sync, I think it would be very close, but I personally prefer Octavia's style of lip syncing. So, I decided to save her and eliminate Kiki. The next episode is the acting challenge. Just like in the original, I gave Kyron the win. I also think La Voix was strong and helped Kyron secure the win, so I'm placing her high. Between Marmalade and Relisa, I preferred Marmalade's performance, so she takes the third top spot. Without Kiki, I think the 3 weakest performances were Dita's, Zahira's, and Chanel's. Ultimately, I decided to place Chanel as low. In the original episode, the lip sync was between Dita and Kiki, and honestly, I think Dita did pretty well. On the other hand, Zahira lacked energy in her original lip sync against Lil, so based on that, I'm eliminating Zahira. In this episode, Relisa absolutely devoured the challenge and was undeniably the best, so she gets the win. Joining her in the top, I've placed Kyron and Octavia. Originally, Dita wasn't part of the girl groups, but I think she would have struggled in this challenge. I decided to put her in the bottom alongside Lil. I also don't agree with the original low placement. I think Marmalade did better than Chanel, so I'm swapping them. As for the lip sync, I don't think Dita would win against Lil, so unfortunately, Dita gets eliminated. The Graham Norton Show Challenge had another clear winner, La Voix. She absolutely nailed it. In the top, I also placed Marmalade and Lil, just as originally. With no Kiki, I had to rework the bottom placements. Octavia performed the worst in the challenge, so she's definitely in the bottom. Out of the remaining queens, I think the second worst was Chanel, so she joins Octavia in the bottom too. Originally, Chara was low, but she only had one shaky moment. The rest of her performance was fine, so she's safe here. On the other hand, Kyron was pretty invisible in her group, which made her come across much weaker, so I decided to place her low. For the lip sync, Octavia would definitely beat Chanel, so Chanel is eliminated. In this scenario, the Snatch game was really difficult for me to judge. No one, except Relisa, did particularly bad. The only other queen who struggled a bit was Octavia, so I have to put her in the bottom. Let's be honest, though, in any other Snatch game, she would have been safe. The rest of the group performed wonderfully, so they all land in the top. There are no low or safe placements this episode. When it comes to the win, it was obviously between Kyron and La Voix. I decided to give it to Kyron for one reason: Liza has been done so many times, and while La Voix did a fantastic job, it lacked originality for me. The bottom 2 lip sync between Octavia and Relisa would have been incredible, but I think Relisa would win, meaning Octavia is eliminated. The next challenge is the rusical. I'm changing this episode to a top 2 format, similar to how the show originally did with the design challenge. Why? Because to me, no one did poorly, there wasn't a single queen deserving of a bottom placement. Everyone this episode is in the top. The top 2, lip-syncing for the win, are La Voix and Relisa. I considered putting Marmalade there, but ultimately, La Voix's and Relisa's performances were my favorites. They would lip-sync to Time Warp, and I think La Voix would camp it up and take the win. For the Makeover challenge, I'm keeping most of the original placements. I agree with the winner, Marmalade, and the bottom 2, Relisa and Chara. For the rest of the queens, I decided to keep Kyron as high and place La Voix and Lil as safe, as Kyron's makeover was more creative. The lip-sync result stays the same, with Chara T going home. Last episode before the finale is the roast. La Voix was by far the best, so she gets the win. Marmalade was also great, so I've placed her high. Kyron's roast was a bit disappointing, but I still can't say it was bad, so she's safe. Unfortunately, as much as I love this top 5, someone has to go home. The bottom 2 stays the same as originally, with Lil being eliminated. Before we go to the finale, let's see all placements with track records, and then determine who is the winner. Overall score of each queen is calculated by the sum of the scored points, divided by the number of episodes she was in. 12th, Saki Yu. 11th, Kiki Snatch. 10th, Zahira Zapanta. 9th, Dita Garbo. 8th, Chanel O'Connor. 7th, Actavia. 6th, Chara T. 5th, Lil. 'Here are the scores of the final 4. Kyron Thrax. La Voix. Marmalade. Relisa Slaves. As in the original episode, I'm choosing a top 2 to lip-sync for the crown. Based on their finale performance and their track record throughout the season, the top 2 are Kyron Thrax and La Voix. They lip-sync to Don't Stop Me Now by Queen. Both queens deliver great performances, but to me, the winner is Kyron Thrax. Overall, I think this season was fantastic and honestly, it could have been a double crowning. Thank you for watching the video. Remember, this is just my opinion, and everyone is allowed to have one. Let me know if you enjoyed watching and would like to see more. Also, big thanks to Uki Lee for the inspiration and the scoring system. Lastly, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel.